So first, can we have everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A moment of silence. Thank you. So, let the record show that the entire board is here. Bob Heffernan, Richard Nichols, Press Lee, and Barbara Curtis is online. Ex officios, we have, well, Amy will be joining us shortly, but she's not on right now. Robin Davis, General Manager, Sharon Sexton, Assistant General Manager, and Mike Hoffman, Legal. So, moving on to the consent agenda. Does anyone have any questions or want anything removed? Okay, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moving is allowed. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
President, I am here. Mayor Marusco's online.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mhm.
Let the record show.
Hey, Tom, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Amy.
No, Barbara.
I can hear you, Barbara.
Oh, good, Amy. All right. Hi.
You hear both Amy and Barbara.
All right.
All right. So, call to the public. Members of the public wishing to address the board on any BPW-related matter, whether on tonight's agenda or not, should make their request known at this time. Please note that there will be no opportunity for additional public comments on matters listed in the agenda until the end of the meeting. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes. No action or board discussion, including answering questions, will occur during public comment period. However, the board president may ask the staff to review a matter, or individual members of the board may ask for it to be put on future agendas. Okay, and with that, we'll go to is there any public comment? Okay, then we're on to the Inframark report.
Hello, members of the board. Matthew Davis, project manager at Inframark. I haven't had a chance to really go through a lot of this. We've got some stuff going on in the plant. So as far as stuff we have going on, we are coordinating with Sprig to redesign plans for the Station 6 bypass. I know that the Station 6 bypass is a priority. We were out there with Ben this past week to try and figure out exactly how we want to proceed with that. There was some mix-up as far as how we wanted the bypass put in, but I think we cleared that up and we should be en route to proceed. I just got some numbers from Sprig and I forwarded those to Sharon, so hopefully we can get moving on that soon. The gate replacement for Train 4 should be in by the end of the month. I had reached out to the rep, the parts. What he's telling me should be here July 28th, according to him. So we'll see. The valves for the ditches, we were ready to put those in, and then we realized there was a design flaw. So the way the valves work, the valve itself should be horizontal, the shaft should be vertical. When they sent it, we didn't catch this. The entire assembly is horizontal. So there's no way to install them the way they are. So they're gonna send us, parts to retrofit the valves. Once we get those parts in, we'll schedule it and we should be able to get them in.
So,
I don't know as of, I do not know as of yet.
so did the
Yeah,
spec-
so
did the spec of the purchase order?
Yeah, so
that-
if it is, they should cover it. They should, because this was on them, not us. But I'll clarify that for sure. The membranes have not shown any more signs of increased damage. Our insight report come back really good. Our numbers have been fairly good. Our phosphorus is up, but has nothing to do with the membranes. The membranes don't.
Matt, have you looked at them? You personally have looked at those?
The membranes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, we pulled one just to double check and see if we saw any more significant things. But the insight report will also, like, we only pulled one, but I mean, the insight report's really good about reading the parameters and telling us what, if anything, we need to do.
So, and I think you had answered this before, but I don't remember. So the cassette that had the damage, it was,
Multiple cassettes had damage.
it was the leading edge of them though, right?
It seemed to be the leading edge. The leading edge, and in some cases, the back edge. I didn't see any damage to the middle.
So when you pulled this additional cassette,
Yes.
it
It
was
was
from
the
a
same
different train?
areas. It was train 3, and it was the same areas.
So there was damage in the leading edge?
Yeah, it was the same. It was probably damage that we had seen previously too, but it was this, like I haven't seen any new damage. So
And so I know you had mentioned last time Viola wasn't concerned,
not yet, no.
but is there any explanation for why now after all these years of operation?
There's a couple variables. Part of it is the picking that we used to do, like where we used to take them out and set them out. They're not really designed to be out of water like that. And over time, I think they've just gotten brittle. They, from what I understand, I've been told, that's their thought process is just.
How do you clean that?
You're not supposed to do that. Nobody else does that. The only reason we did that is because the headworks was damaged.
But you're flushing them now.
Yes. So the way they do it, the way you do it is, of course, you run the maintenance cleans, and then you do chemical cleans to break up any particles or anything. And that the way the air works is the air is supposed to move the membranes, and then as the chemicals hit it, it's supposed to break up everything. But no, as far as picking them and cleaning them, like cleaning off the excess stuff, that's only a headworks issue.
Yeah,
So
'cause
once the
once the headworks was done.
once the headworks was done, that's not supposed to be a thing.
Because before that there was fiber and everything
Yeah,
else
yeah.
getting in there, which.
Yeah, if you pull them now, because I was here before when we used to pick them, and if you look at them now versus then, there's the amount of fibers and stuff that I see when we pull them out is extremely less compared to where before the headworks was put online. So now that the headworks has been put online, it's mainly a sludging. You get some fibrous materials but they it stays smooth near the top, and it's not very bad. It's not, and it's, from what I understand, it's every plant. So it's nothing new.
I will say that when we talked to Matt Stapleford from Viola, he had a greater confidence that we can repair these strands because we have that picking experience, because not everybody can do that. So he's confident.
Because I thought we were going to cut them and seal them so we can actually repair them.
Yeah, we're going to repair them.
Well, no. Okay, so I think there's a mix-up.
Yes,
yeah. So yeah, that's how they repair them. Yeah. So you cut them, seal them with a silicone, and just we'll spray them down. We're not doing the whole picking process that we did before. that's not, that you should never really be doing that. But we're gonna spray them down, clean them. Any big materials we'll pick out, we'll clean out, and then seal up the damaged membranes, and then put them back.
Okay, so we're repairing the cassettes,
Yes.
but the individual strands of the membranes, we're gonna seal.
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right. And I know this was kind of brought up last meeting, but we're always a month behind. So the CES did finish the tank clean out. Both mixers are back in operation. Everything's good with the EQ tank. And I'll bring this up now, but it should be next month because again, we're a month behind. But we did have a DEMEC inspection yesterday. Everything went very well with it. So no problems. They said the plant looked really good.
Well, the parameters look,
Yeah, especially for the membranes being damaged. Like I said, the everything looks really good on the inside report. So we're doing everything we're supposed to be doing. Like I said, the maintenance cleans as far as upkeep. We're checking everything that we're supposed to be doing on our end, and it seems to be keeping up. As far as corrective maintenance and activities go for this.
well, actually, if we can back up to the
No, you're fine.
charts.
Go ahead.
The chart that says dissolved oxygen and trends,
Hold on, let me go. Yes.
there, it seems to be, I assume that one that's rising in the upper left is train 2.
On the chart?
Yeah. So it's,
Oh, you're looking on the insight report?
no,
What page number, Tom?
there is no page
Doesn't
number.
have a page. He's back, I think, here.
Here.
Oh, that's the insight report.
Oh, this is the,
I'm sorry, Tom. Sorry
Oh, you're
about
right.
that.
Sorry,
You said charts. I thought you were referring to.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. It's the insight report. It's,
Okay, give me 1 second here. Hold on. Okay, no. Dissolved oxygen.
I think it's page 5.
Page 5. 1, 2.
are you just counting or is your yours?
They're numbered.
No,
It's a very- it's very,
they're
very
numbered
light.
at the bottom. It's just really light.
Invisible ink?
Yeah, invisible ink.
I don't see them.
So, what was your question, Tom?
The one that the golden or yellow
Yeah.
is trending higher. It had been trending with the others. And I assume that is train 2.
As far as the dissolved oxygen, I'm not 100% sure on that, Tom.
Because what's strange is that the margin to, or the legend to the right says dissolved oxygen distribution. So this is the pre-ionic zone 2 tank dissolved oxygen.
Oh, yeah. So I think this I think I see what you're understanding there. So I think this might have to do again back to the valves. We've been really with the heat and everything. We've been ramping up the blowers and ramping down the blowers, mainly because we've been struggling with phosphorus removal. And it's mainly due to the crazy heat we have, and then we had some problems with Clean Delaware with getting out enough loads, especially on the 4th of July or especially on the weekends. So I'm thinking that's what this is. I'm thinking what you're referring to is the ramp ups from the and the ramp down from the blowers. But I can double check into that and let you know. I could you'll be at the walkthrough.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll check into that and I'll let you know at the walkthrough.
Yeah, so, Professor, you're more knowledgeable on this, because this is the pre-aerobic stage.
Right.
are there blowers in the pre?
So
I thought
there's
only,
blowers in the main, but because we had to ramp the oxygen up so high, it's carried over to the anoxic zones.
oh, okay.
So,
Because that's
Yeah.
what I couldn't understand. is-
we can go into a little bit when we do the walkthrough and give
Okay.
you some more information.
And then the next one I had questions on the report. Oh, so it's the last page.
Yep.
It says comparing data year over year, yet the margin, that on the four charts to the right, it's by month. And the chart on the left is year over year.
Okay.
I think it's just a little lack of clarity on, because it says here on the very bottom, by tax year, example, black for 2024. But in the legend, black is 2000,
2006.
yeah. So,
Or 2026, excuse me.
yeah, so I don't understand, the legend doesn't seem to agree with the notes.
I will reach out to them and clarify because we have nothing to do with this report. So I will reach out to them and clarify that.
And I don't know, this may have been in the past, I was going through it particularly in more depth this time. So,
No, you're fine.
okay,
So, okay.
all right. That was all I had. Anything else from anyone else?
I just have a comment, on pages 10 and 11, we have the list of purchases.
Yeah.
You're back over to the report? Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
And then-
you're fine. Just
and
let
then
me-
after the-
Let me catch up.
Pages 10 and 11 give you the list of purchases and so forth.
Okay.
Good, yeah,
The Viola
report.
you redo it, and you have all the receipts.
Now, when do we start getting all of that? This thing's getting thicker and thicker. Do we really need that?
That's something that
I think somebody had requested it, but if you don't need it, we don't need to.
Barbara was asking for a detailed summary, but I agree. If I leave it, Barbara, you want to chime in?
I couldn't hear what Press was asking about.
Look at the back of this thing, or it's got all of the copies of all of the Walmart.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think we need that. I mean, it's kind of nice to have, but I don't think we need it.
Would you just want to overview, just the main overview of the expenses then from now on?
Would that work for you, Barbara?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine, man.
let's save a tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Put it together. And then
But I do have a few questions. First of all,
1 second, Barbara.
okay. Press, you had some more?
Just on the things that you've gotten completed, on the very last page of that yellow stripe, the work orders, the generator listings there seem to be redundant. I don't know what's going on there.
So we have a monthly generator check that our guys do, and it's literally just checking oil.
But I see it,
So the generator for the main plant,
well, it's there a couple times, that's my point. It's on the same date and everything. And then the other generator doesn't say the location, and they're repeated. From 5395 to 5400.
But it appears the three are annual generator and then three are
okay,
monthly.
that's what it is then. Yeah,
Okay.
it's an
Okay, I
annual
understand.
generator inspection and then a monthly generator inspection.
But
that's-
you do different things
So
Well,
we do different things generally, but again, my guys aren't generator techs, like they,
but it's, you know, the 5395 is repeated. And isn't it the same thing?
I'm going to assume you checked 2 generators other than at the main plant. Is that correct?
so we do generators at station 8, at station 4, and at the main plant.
So you need to label station 4
yeah.
instead of weight because they look like the same.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I just didn't catch it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's,
All right.
all right,
Yep.
thanks.
Barbara?
Okay, first of all, following up from last month, you were going to investigate the Veolia report notation of a performance step improvement on all trains on May 11th and report back to the board. Did that happen?
I reached out to them, and they thought, and again, it kind of coincided with the spike in turbidities that we had around that time, and I think that's what you were referring to, is when the damage actually took place. When we think the damage actually took place to the membranes is when we saw the spike as well, and it was something going on that came through the system. And it spiked up the turbidity for all trains. I believe that's what you're referring to.
I don't know. I'm just reading from our minutes, and it talked about a performance step improvement. So I wouldn't think we'd be talking about a spike in turbidity if there was an improvement.
As far as that goes, when I reached out to them about the, I thought we were talking about the turbidity spike. I'm sorry.
No.
That's what I reached out to them about. I didn't reach out
Okay.
the any improvements or anything, but we've been doing everything that Veolia has recommended on our end.
Yeah, I don't remember what the topic was either.
It might have been mixed up. I thought it was about the turbidities, maybe.
Okay. Another action item from last meeting.
If you can go back and look at the packet from the last meeting and see if what you were referring to.
Yeah, it was May 11th on the Veolia report, but I don't have it with me here in Massachusetts. The other action item that I just wanted to check to make sure it's been done was that Inframark was going to contact Sussex County to let them know that we're going to have to reduce flow starting in September when you start working on the membrane issue.
I have talked to Tyler about that, yes.
Okay, good.
And how far do we have to reduce them?
We should be all right by going back to probably 100,000. Where we used to, when we used to cut it back, I think it was like 100,000 or 150,000. I think we should be all right. If we have to cut it back more, I told them that we'll reach out to them, but as far as right now, I don't see that being an issue. Yeah. Once we're off peak flows, half should be enough.
Okay, and speaking of peak flows, I see that daily production peaked at 2.42 million gallons per day on July 8th. Now that's next month's report, but it was in the Veolia report. And they were congratulating you on it, that the permeability was unaffected by the increase as the flux flow rate remains steady due to utilizing spare standby time as production hours. What did they mean by that?
I think that has to do with when we have really high rain events, and this just happened this weekend.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, I was here a long time. So whenever we have these severe rain events or we have crazy flows, we adjust our back pulse numbers, we adjust the standby numbers, and it allows us to ramp up and treat more. It's not something that we can do long-term, but in situations where we're in really high flows, we're able to do that and kind of play hide the water. And I believe that's what they're talking about.
Okay, well, good that you figured it out. And then my final question was looking at the pump station 196 that flows from Sussex. There are some days where there are no numbers. So I'm assuming they didn't discharge anything to us on those days. Is that correct?
Yeah, those are days where we had to shut off the flow to them due to something going on with the system. Like when we did the EQ tank clean out,
Uh-huh.
and I believe that's one of those times, is we had to shut off the flow for an extended period in order to do the EQ tank clean out, so we weren't dealing with that extra flow.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yep.
And I know it's going to be next month's report, but just from a timeliness perspective, how did things go over 4th of July?
Very stressful.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, how did your guys make out?
We were fine. We ended up we were good for a while, and I believe we had to call and cut back the flow. We got to a point where we were pushing 1.5 mil, I believe.
Wow.
So we were pretty high.
Yeah, there were a lot of people in town, and
Oh yeah, it was a bit much.
but
yeah.
your
So
guys from a heat stress perspective. And,
Yeah, so we did find out that like going forward, and I've already talked to Al from Wolf Neck about this. Is going forward, I think going into those major holiday weekends, we're just gonna cut back the flow going into the weekend because we just can't really handle that extra flow on top of everything else because 4th of July was really bad.
And so they can handle it both with their lagoon and the fact that they're spraying at that point.
Yes.
How did yesterday's rain impact you? We had 3.5 inches.
I was here starting at 11 o'clock p.m. and didn't leave till 7 a.m. this morning. We went into high level at stations 1, 2, stations 1, 2, Schley, 13, 11, and 4. 4 got up to 11 feet. Our EQ tank got up to 11 feet. Our trains got up to 124 inches. So it was stressful, but we were able to work everything out. I had 2 guys come in, and between the 3 of us, we were able to navigate everything and make sure we didn't have any SSOs.
So, because it really didn't start raining until like 10 o'clock.
No,
and the torrential rains were later.
Yep.
From an I&I, was that I&I?
I'm honestly not sure. I will say at Station 2, that's something I definitely want to investigate because those pumps should have been able to keep up, and they couldn't. Like, we were very high. We were at 10 foot. The overflow level's 11 foot.
I'm sure there was I&I, but the flow itself at 3.5 inches was crazy. I mean,
but
it's only a short period
there
of
should have
time.
been somewhat of a lag with the I&I to permeate down to the piping. I mean, I thought the peaks always lagged.
Well, it's infiltration too, so you know, that's.
I will say the county was good about, as soon as I called them, Al got up in the middle of the night and shut off the flow for us. So I do appreciate that from them.
Oh wow.
We had about 3 inches of rain last night because I woke up this morning and the swimming pool was almost overflowing.
I have it at, with the weather station, and when I went to bed at midnight, it was 2.87 inches, and then this morning, by the beginning of the day, because it was a new day, it was like another half inch.
Yeah, we registered it right,
and it was really like you're saying, like 10 to 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we registered just under 4 inches at the plant.
Wow. I mean, we need a rain, but come on.
Yeah, so. But our guys were able to navigate it. It was stressful, but we managed it. So.
Good job. All right. Anything else? Any questions for Matt?
I think we kind of went over everything. So.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. So the president's report. I'm going to try to cut these things down. So we did have a water tower meeting, but Robin's going to talk more about the water tower in his report. I attended the DEMEC legislative roundup, which was informative. And specifically, the 4th of July, as everyone knows, we were in extreme heat. And Sharon was sending out notes to everyone. The main event was the first hot day in the morning. We were very low in our water tower. Now, hopefully, in the future, once we get another 1 million gallons in there, that will be gone. But that was what the blast went out about, turning your irrigation so it wasn't coming on first thing in the morning, and also limiting water use. So that was good. And even though PJM was very concerned with the grid, it seems like everything, they rode through it,
Yep.
which I was very surprised at. On the local side, the city did a wonderful job of redoing event schedules, shortening the parade, shortening the art show and those type of things. And, we contributed by setting up sprinkler systems in the park for the kids to use as a cool down during the day. And I think it's something we probably should consider for the long term.
I think like we discussed, I mentioned to you, a misting tank.
Yeah,
Because that's much more efficient with water use, and it's really
yeah.
cools
I
things
didn't
down.
have one of those in the garage.
Well, you should.
But, all in all, for a very stressful period, both the city and BPW came through pretty good, or came through very good. And that's all I have. Robin?
Okay. Everyone received my report in their packet. Some of the activities to note, been working with Evan Park again about the development agreement. They're actually going to be doing some work on the water and sewer infrastructure. So we're working on the process to move forwards on that. I did attend the APPA conference in Boston.
Congratulations. How'd that go?
It was all right. It was all right. Yeah, there was some valuable training opportunities. Talked to a few vendors there. Darren was there.
Oh, did you see him?
A few minutes. Yeah. Wasn't long, but just a few minutes.
Yeah, I saw him the last time I was there.
Yeah. So it's good opportunity. Sharon, Assistant General Manager, she's continuing to coordinate with Sergeant Lungy through DEMEC on the hosting capacity study. I don't know, Tom had said something. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
I don't have a whole lot of information. It is a grant that DEMEC received for all of the 9 members of DEMEC, and we are the second community to go through it. And so right now they're still in the gathering the data information. I think they're actually going to be on site either tomorrow or the following Thursday. I can't remember which Thursday it was, to get the final. They really want to get like where the circuits are and the feeders are, so they can really build out that plan for us.
So, Scott, then, if I can turn to you and ask, what exactly is capacity hosting? Sure, please.
Thank you, Tom. I wanted to know too.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah.
Hi, Scott Lynch, Vice President Asset Development for DEMEC. Hosting capacity study is an evaluation of your existing infrastructure, your lines, your conductor, your transformers, your feeders, all of that, to assess what you have as regard to solar in the community already, and then to see what that impact is having on any additional solar to come to your community. So for example, if you have a particular feeder that is at certain capacity, they'll run certain tests on it for flicker to see any impact it will have on the lights, or to look at thermal loading. And then the next thing they'll look at is how much can the conductor, the wire,
take from reverse power flow from a home onto the lines, because that's essentially what we're talking about. When you put solar on top of a home, it's not just sitting there powering everything in the home. It is connected to the service panel, which is connected to your meter, which then, if the electricity overcomes the usage of the home, it could push back to your system. And then looking at how well your system can manage all that load. So what we had been doing, DEMEC, through the, forgive me, I forget which federal law, they did it, I don't know if it's a bipartisan infrastructure act. It was, but the subsection of it is 40101D. And it's essentially for, the money came from the feds, it went to DEMEC. DEMEC has the funds, they put out a grant application. We said, we would like to use those funds to help our members better understand how much more, if any, solar their system can take, and most importantly, where. Because the interesting part about solar is it does not equally distribute itself in the community. It will cluster. So you may have overall a lot of capacity in your system, but if where the interest is in solar is clustered in one part of your community, well, you may have to close that one part of your community to additional solar and say, well, you can put it elsewhere, but we can't put any more here.
Yeah, and it's something that's been a big concern in the industry as we go to these type of power. But one of the concerns with the study being done now is all, the homes, the vacation homes are occupied versus in the wintertime when there's no one there, the solar panels are all generating and they're all feeding much more into the circuits.
Yes.
So, are they going to do it over time?
Yes, what they will look at they will look at your system as, they won't look at it as typically in the past, just a little context around that, is the amount of solar that was encouraged for your community was based off of a percentage of your peak. So if your peak was 20 megawatts, and the number was 5% of that, you're looking at 20 megawatts, 10%, you're looking at 5 megawatts, or excuse me, 500. You're looking at what you could have in there. So you are looking at a number that was based off of just a percentage, right? There was no science behind it, there was no nothing. What you're looking at now is you are assessing, to your very point, what is the low load of the community? What is that impact of that solar being in place? Because you have to maintain a certain amount of headroom so that you do not push any electricity back to the transmission provider, Delmarva Power. That is against your interconnection agreement with them. They do not like that. So,
and there still is you can only put 1 megawatt downstream of your interconnect? Or is that an old?
That is what that is. That is a rule by it that if you were to install anything above 1 megawatt, then you would have to let Delmarva Power know, and then they would conduct a study.
Right.
But if you were to put a 500 kilowatt system, as we had been looking previously at the various spots in the community where we could put something, you would have your right to just install it. But
Well, let's say that some part of the town has, by this measure, too much solar. Can we stop it? Can we say, no, you can't, you, homeowner, can't hook up?
yes, you can. And this was the most critical part of a change in recent legislation, amongst the many pieces of legislation I'll speak about, is there was a change in law previously. And I remember I said a percentage based off of your peak. It was based off of just arbitrary percentage that was picked. Previously, if you hit that percentage, that was your chance to say no more solar. Recent law removed that percentage altogether and leaned on good utility practice and safety. So to your point, you can look back to the law and say, no, you may not put solar in this particular location, on this home, business, what have you, because of safety concerns about backfeeding or some issue that would impact your infrastructure.
I guess
So
what
you
law
rely
is
on
that? Is that, do we have to have an ordinance for it or anything? Anything we have to do as a city to enforce that?
I would have to take a closer look at.
As we understand, it's
Yeah.
to your right as the utility to make that determination.
I actually think we're there, but we've just accepted them. I think we're at capacity for electricity.
Well, maybe we ought to find out more.
Yeah.
And is
Is
this
that-
a 2026 law, or is this been in existence for a couple of years?
The removal of the net metering cap was a 2026, this past legislative session.
Okay.
There was a law in 24, don't quote me on it, I think 24, that increased the cap from 5% to 8%.
So that's what we're talking about, hosting capacity, is that?
Yes,
is
and that's
that-
what we're trying to do right now, is we're trying to make an assessment of we're assisting you to make an assessment of your electricity grid.
How
to
much
say,
more we can take and.
How much more you can do.
How it can be.
Yeah,
In-
how much more can you take, and at that time, any improvements that might be recommended, so you could do, allow more. For example, we first started in the city of Milford with hosting capacity there because they were experiencing this very issue. They had they have a 15 megawatt solar facility, plus an enormous amount of interest in solar from various residential businesses. And they were reaching a point where there could be some pushback to the transmission system, which is why we started there with a host capacity study. And further is why we are looking, and DEMEC is working on a battery development that would provide solar soaking activities, which essentially means that when the grid would start going, you think of it like a gas tank starts going down in capacity, the battery would turn on and bring that capacity back for
So level it out.
to level it out, and then you could then dispatch that saved energy.
And
later
that's,
in the
that's
day.
actually one of the things we looked at in the first round of battery bids. But I mean, that was a long time ago. Things have changed.
Yes.
And just for the boards, when Scott talks about flickering, it's a cloud going overhead, and then all the solar cells go down. And all of a sudden you have an inrush of current then. So that's, I mean, or other things, that's one of the main causes of flickering. And going back to the interconnect agreement, as I remember the way it was before is, it was 1 megawatt and you had to notify Delmarva Power. And if they needed upgrades, you were on the hook for paying part of or all of the upgrades to take, like if you wanted to put in a 5 megawatt farm,
Yeah.
that you were then responsible for the upgrades of the grid.
Yeah, Delmarva could come back to you and say, you want to put in so much capacity. We don't, our study says that could be greater than what we would otherwise allow you to do without any upgrades. And they may say, we need to put something in place that would make sure that there would be no bidirectional flow.
Okay, so how long does this study take? I mean, should I wait for March or?
It's underway right now. So the good part about
February?
was that, the good part is that there was already, Sargent and Lundy, who we picked, had already done some work for the BPW.
Yeah.
So they weren't starting at zero. What they're starting at is the last time they looked at your system, they're saying, well, what's changed? That's kind of where we are right now, so they can then run it
So
out.
December?
No, it should be sooner than that. They were only projecting a couple months for the study, so.
Yeah, but I hope they're gonna look at the low season.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, getting into October, I mean, the real low is February. I mean, that's, but, because, I mean, as you pointed out, that's really the critical point for, and, I know if everyone's on the board, Sergeant Lundy, we had hired, God, how many years ago?
Oh, geez.
Probably like 7 or 8 years ago, to come in and look at all of our circuits, do a study, and they did as much as they could, but without having AMI, they had to look at it circuit-wise, not,
Yeah.
individual lines. And so we're still slightly at risk from that perspective. Another push for AMI.
Well, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, well, thanks for coming down, Scott.
Yeah.
I'll wait till my next call.
Some of the activities in the electric department is, they had to clear some.
Oh, can I, the FEMA,
Yep.
what's that about?
So, the February storm, the snowstorm that we had, when we had the power outage and there was a damage to the breaker on the generator at the wastewater treatment facility.
Yeah.
Because it was declared a disaster, we are now able to try to recoup some of those funds from that event.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we're working on that application, me and Chris.
Thank you.
Good. The electric department, they, had to clear some obstructions around some head-mounted transformers and Bay Breeze for the required access. Swapped out some transformers and pole mount transformers. From the water sewer, they work with GMB on the, locating water services, how they're connected to some of the piping on 4th Street.
Going back to the electric, so we had notified the owners of Bay Breeze before we cleared.
Yes, most of those people have been sent letters. We had a lot of people out there in Canary Creek before. Most of the people removed them. Some of them we had to do on our own. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted,
Yeah.
for the
But
record.
we just don't go out there and start. Some of the office stuff, the office staff attended a webinar, training with DEMEC on net metering. Into the capital projects. As far as the elevated water storage tank, I don't know if Mike can pull up some pictures. This was some pictures sent from the company that's doing the inspections of the tank. That's, they are working on, that's where our logo will be on that side of the tank. They have started some work. That's the Cape side. So all the painting is basically all
That's
done.
it, yeah.
Putting the logos, that's all inside the tank. It's kind of hard on that screen.
Yeah.
It looked better on my computer.
You know, that turned out to be a great place for that tank, because
Yeah.
it's, you really doesn't
I
hit
mean,
your eye
other than
right.
off of Clay and
Yeah.
Kings,
It's hidden
there's
there.
no other view of it.
Yeah.
Except from the Cape Field,
Yeah.
which has got this, and it's so
So that was-
tight to the tree line. And I don't know who picked out the color, but the color's perfect also.
Well, I kind of wish we had brown or green on the lower part of it, up to the tree, top of the tree line.
We can have a mural paint, Barbara. Or banks.
When do we get the tour?
When it's done, go on site, as we said before, why it's still an active site.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a few inside the tower itself. That's some of the equipment inside there, and I think there's a bigger picture. Another one, yeah, that's up, looking up to the tank itself.
And as far as, our work, the fiber optic cables and,
Staff is working on that right now, that and the electric portion. We're still, there's a chance that it would be done before the September
Good.
requirement. So,
Good.
but they're working away.
yeah, I know Josh had said that they had ordered the equipment already, so.
Yep. As far as the 4th Street project, everything's moving forwards. Again, we're still waiting on hopefully some additional funding from this CDS application we submitted, which Senator Blunt, Rochester, and Coons supported. Probably in a couple months, maybe we'll see if we do get any additional funds for that.
And we're still on schedule for the bid going out in August.
Yes, yep, we're still on schedule for the bid going out in August. Yep. Cape's Cove project is basically all done. All the homes are all connected. Contractor working on the punch list items, and hopefully we can get that all closed out.
Fourth Street.
Yes, sir.
I've noticed that there's an old house where the porch is kind of sagging. There's a demolition kind of do not enter. Is that something that needs to be addressed in some way as part of what we need to notify whoever the owner or owners or estate, or is anybody aware of
If it's a
that?
demolition, that's through the city side. That's through any type of condemnation, demolition requirement for the building for being unsafe is handled through the city building department.
Okay, do we have to give notice that there should be something that they are working on so that we don't have contractors coming up and disturbing something, or somebody claims that this is not right?
Well, they should be going through Miss Utility.
Well, we shouldn't be messing with anything inside the property anyway. It should be only up to the curb stop.
The property is right up against the sidewalk on this.
Yeah.
And it's only, I've been noticing it, and nothing seems to be happening. And whether it's an eyesore.
Yeah, Richard, I know which one you're talking about.
Some way.
I mean, I can follow up with the building department, but again, it's
Yeah.
them doing any type of, with the ownership over that building is their
So
responsibility.
I understand on the water side, we shut off the curb stop, but what do we do on the sewer side?
The water and sewer have been capped at that problem.
Yeah.
That has been? Okay. Thank you. That solves us.
Okay, as far as staffing, we have a service longevity recognition, Michael Posey.
Who's happens to be here?
All right.
4 years.
4 years.
4 years. So, part of the family now. As far as upcoming meetings.
Now, could I stop you with safety? The defensive driving, so that's available, we're offering that?
Yes.
Are we doing anything to encourage it? I mean, I think it would be nice to, if anybody takes it, give them something, or time off, or $200 bill, or, I don't know, something like
I
that.
love that.
Except for internal stuff.
Does that include board members?
Is that we get a discount on our insurance. So we just turn our certificate in. So we actually get a credit on our insurance if we turn it in.
I get it. I think it's to encourage our staff, though.
I think everybody but one has taken it, so.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
actually, I think you get discounts on your personal insurance
Yeah.
also.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's,
I mean, ours and theirs.
it's like for 5 years or something, that's a term. I do that every time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Upcoming meetings, we got a BPW Finance Committee meeting on Monday, August 3rd at 10 o'clock in our conference room. We also have a BPW Mitigation Committee meeting Wednesday, August 12th at 1 o'clock in our conference room. And our next regular meeting is Wednesday, August 26th at 4 o'clock here in the council chambers.
Good.
So we probably should let the record show that the mayor has left us.
Trina Brown Hicks might have filled in for her.
Oh, is Trina? Oh, okay. So the city is represented by Trina right now. Yeah, sure. Yeah. All right.
Can the,
Good evening, Trina.
on the project
Yeah.
list, you gone through that, or?
No, I just, if anybody has any questions about it.
Yeah. I'm interested, the White Pond Reserve on the first page, about halfway down. I see a pump and haul. Who got that? That's unusual.
We did that with Fisher's Cove. They got Waterfront Preserve got it too. Due to the law,
DEMEC permitted that? Okay.
They limit, I think, they are at 10 out there, White's Pond Preserve. You're only allowed to have 10 COs before they have to get it off the pump at all.
And is that ours or DEMEC's requirement?
Denrick.
Good, okay, good. I think of the Donovan, mobile home park. That was a pump and haul too, but it didn't work out really well.
He did that a lot on his own.
Oh, yeah. And then on the wellhead header project, has the flow test been done yet?
We're still working on getting the numbers all squared away.
Okay. So Pilottown Village, Ocean View Boulevard, GMB monitoring 2 dips.
There were 2 dips in the road.
In the road?
Yeah, in the road. They weren't in the area where we thought at first they were in the area where they relined the sewer, but they weren't.
So the sewer is settling, or what?
No.
What is it? It's in the gravity sewer?
That was a stormwater project, correct?
Yeah, the stormwater. Yeah.
Oh, it's stormwater, yeah.
Stormwater, but it
That's
wasn't,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, Ben Hur with GMB, yeah, based off what we saw with where the sewer or stormwater lines are, it's, on either side. It's not where the sewer, the stormwater is. There's nothing we saw in the main that showed like dirt migrating into the main.
So well, explain to me exactly what's happening. Is it just the pipe dips down?
No, there's 2
What's-
dips in the asphalt.
There's 2 dips in the
sorry,
asphalt.
there's
Oh,
asphalt,
this is just from the
some
settling.
sort of
Oh,
settling.
I thought it was the piping you
No,
were talking about.
no.
Correct, yeah.
Our pipe looks good.
Good.
Good pipe.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
And I mean, the other project that, actually, we're not really involved in, but Abbott Park is putting in new water and sewer lines as part of the HOA to tie into our system
We will
on
be.
Washington.
Yeah.
That's on here.
On my
Oh, is
first,
it?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It's the first one.
I'm working with them on the development agreement because they will be replacing some of our piping. Because they're gonna upsize at least the water.
We approved the developers agreement.
And we approved it at our
Last.
last meeting. And it's back with them, because we did you had requested a change about the electric. And
That's right.
we're waiting on them
It's
to.
on the last
sign
page
it.
right there.
Yep.
My dog has given up on chasing the people on the other side of the fence.
Oh, you took him over full-time now?
No comment. All right, moving on. Online. Scott, you're up. Formal invitation for the DEMEC annual dinner.
Hello again, Scott Lynch, Vice President Asset Development for the Delaware Municipal Electric Corporation. DEMEC will be hosting our annual dinner at Bally's in Dover on Wednesday, September 9th from 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. As local decision makers, this is a great opportunity for networking with colleagues from other DEMEC member communities. In addition to that, it'll be a great opportunity for education, because this year we're bringing in PJM's Senior Vice President, Asim Huq, to speak on new things happening with our regional grid and impacts from data centers. It's a very big deal to have him at our community and, at our meeting, and he'll be there to answer any questions. As always, will be our President and CEO, Kimberly Schlichting. She can talk about other things that are happening as well. I came in before about inviting to joint council briefing, and at that time I mentioned we were tracking quite a few pieces of legislation. As I mentioned before, we ended up tracking 44 pieces of state legislation related to energy and municipal electric utilities. This was on top of several actions from the federal and regional levels that impact resource planning and costs. 44 pieces of legislation, just to give you a perspective on that, that is double what we had last year. Which we thought last year was unheard of. I'm hoping we don't try to double that number again next year. 88 pieces would be almost unmanageable. But we did do quite a bit of that as Board President Vanessa said. We have a update that did come out from our Director of Government Relations, Heather, content, and she was able to go through and discuss some of those items for you. So, but in addition to that, at the event, we'll have plenty of opportunity to have questions to talk about those things as well. And as always, we'll have our annual awards and recognitions at the event and highlight the outstanding service provided by our DEMEC members, their communities, and their staff. Did everyone receive your invitations?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, we look forward to having you on September 9th, and with that, any questions?
Well, it's just this, so the board knows, one of the things that was in the original Senate Bill 23 required that the utility would be forced to upgrade to support any affordable housing within X number of years at the utility's cost, and that got stripped out of the bill. There was quite a bit in there, but that was the one part that was going to hit us.
There was a surprising amount of bills that had a surprising amount of line items.
Yeah.
And one thing for you to be aware of is typically in the past, when we were looking at bills, we were looking at bills that were in the energy committees. We experienced a lot more bills that were coming out from other committees that we typically weren't accustomed to tracking. Labor committees. I mean, we would, why is this here? And then other committees, it just seemed very unique. So we were very, we were really, I give a lot of credit to Heather and her legislative team just being on it, checking these different areas, making sure that we're exploring absolutely everything. It was quite a deal this year, honestly.
Yeah, and along the lines with thanks, Senator Hansen is, the lead for a lot of this energy. She has weekly meetings on Fridays, and she's doing a heck of an effort of herding cattle, or cats, excuse me, whichever one you want to herd. So I have a lot of respect for Senator Hansen.
Quite a bit going on. So you're invited to that meeting. Have an opportunity to come in, as always, to speak with Kimberly and again to hear from an expert about the regional grid.
And the other thing you sent out invitations to is the dedication of the floating solar.
Yes. On July 31st, coming up very soon, Friday, we will be having our ribbon cutting for the floating solar project. That was one of my projects. It is currently about 50% of it is already floating out in the wastewater treatment lagoon of Middletown. The next 25% to make it 75% is nearly complete and ready to go out. We're expecting it to go out this week. And then the final deployment is expected to go out at some point in August. It's been quite an undertaking. Just to give you a frame of reference, I've been working on that project since 2015. And
just to remind everyone, Wolf Neck is also putting in solar on their lagoons.
We'll be first.
Yes, actually, they're pretty close to getting started. So, but you'll be first, yes.
We'll be first. We can't take that.
But yours is clean water. Theirs is not. Well, actually,
we're clean and first. I mean, what more and renewable? What more can we do for you?
Free.
Well, you know what? We did do a pretty good job making sure that we did get preserve the federal tax credit for that project. So we made sure that happened.
Well, to quote the saying from the 1950s, too cheap to meter.
Perhaps one day.
That was the motto for the nuclear power industry. All
I
right,
designed both those plants,
Which
Oh,
Middletown and down here.
it's your initials?
Yeah.
That I see out there?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, we're making good use of that, making good use of it right now with, property that, with space that would normally not have any other, use.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Thank you very much, Scott.
thank you.
Is anybody, I'm going up.
You're going up?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Anybody else going up?
I'm gonna go up.
Can we get a
I
van?
think I'm going to go up too.
Can we get a van and
Huh.
take a trip up together?
Sure.
I guess we can, I guess we can, yeah.
I think that'd
As a
be
reminder,
good.
we'll have the initial ceremony at Memorial Hall, to begin with, and then we will be going to the site afterwards to do the actual ribbon cutting. And you'll get a chance to see, portion of the project, being deployed.
I think that'd be.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a good evening.
open forum, general discussion on the city's comprehensive plan. Barbara?
Okay. First of all, if you haven't received notice, the community survey form is now live online. And as of last week, the 15th, at least 75 responses had been submitted, so there is interest. Tomorrow, the city is supposed to be receiving a report from the Office of State Planning Commission on what's been accomplished from the 2015 plan. So where we stand and what's still to be done. And between now and the end of August, the leads on the various topics are supposed to be interviewing key stakeholders using a template form to see what they think is important in that topical area, as well as how they think the city is doing and what kind of improvements they need or we need. And so I've sent an email earlier today to Sharon and Robin asking for their help in putting together a template on infrastructure and utilities, and hope to meet with them sometime next week on that. So, and if you know people you think would be good for me to interview, I'm thinking, for instance, of the original mitigation committee members and perhaps some of you board members one-on-one, but others open to suggestions. And that's it for that.
Any questions or comments on?
Let me know if you want me on it.
Yeah, I would like to interview you. Thank you, Press.
Yeah, and if you want to talk, I'm more than glad to also.
Okay, good. Yeah, on electricity, I'd like to talk to you about that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
So next two items, Donovan Smith Mobile Home Park and Fisher's Cove are not ready, so we're going to pull them from the agenda. Open forum, general discussion on Trimble handheld GIS equipment. Robin?
Okay, unfortunately, Josh couldn't be here at the meeting. He had a emergency he had to go to. So you've got all the data. Unfortunately, I think you might have just recently received the staff recommendation for this item. What it is, it's a piece of equipment that the IT department uses right now to go out and GIS all of our infrastructure assets, manholes, fire hydrants, curb stops, things like that. What they do is they pick up longitude, latitude, elevations of critical equipment, which is valuable. The elevations, which is valuable since the mitigation team is going through this exercise and has gone through the exercise for the pump station stuff and now possibly transformers. So that also helps us along. As noted in the recommendation, this piece of equipment.
I don't have the recommendation, I just have the.
No.
I think I gave that to you at the executive session.
Well, I didn't,
It's a single page.
I gave that to you executive session too.
okay.
Should be.
And I didn't receive it, obviously.
Yes, unfortunately, it never got put in your,
Yeah.
and it was put in the mailbox later, at a later date.
Chris is gonna send it to you, Barbara.
Okay, thanks.
The existing collector we have now was purchased in 2013. So its serviceability life is now expired. Can't get parts. Just certain things are not, software is not up to date and all that stuff. We had originally put in a budget for a new item, but we only budgeted $10,000 an allocation for this piece of equipment. When Josh went through looking for a new unit, this is why you have two quotes. One of the quotes, which is which would be under the $10,000 allocation already, it's found out to not be suitable for what we need. The one that's the $24,000 one fits more compatible with what we have now. Does a lot more, less manual upload of information is needed in that unit compared to the $8,000 one. That is why, other than the few things I've talked about, the better accuracy on the data, things like that, staff has recommended that we get approval for the $24,000 one.
So one of the things in the last note is that the subscription rate is lower.
Yes, correct.
How much per year is that?
I don't know what it is, but we would recoup that cost after 4 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So after 4 years, it'll be pay for the
Yep.
increased capital.
Correct.
The reason it's basically coming back is because we only budgeted $10,000. Kim is going to be talking at the next line item about doing a budget amendment if the board does recommend approval of the unit for $24,693. That is why it's come back to the
I
board.
mean, I'd be in favor of doing as you recommend. Can't you just do that on your own?
The problem is because we budgeted $10,000.
I understood what you said, but
I
thought you had that authority anyway.
I don't think I could increase the budget.
I'm just trying to understand.
I'm
trying to understand your authority.
Correct. Yeah.
I think there's a threshold, and I think that's over the threshold, if I'm not mistaken.
How often do we use the equipment?
A lot.
Every day almost, right?
Okay.
I mean, that's how we're locating every
Yeah.
light in town,
Yeah.
every train.
And all the new developments are going in now, and we're playing catch up too with a lot of stuff.
That answers my question.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the staff's recommendation to purchase the hardware for the $24,693.
Second.
The only clarification is it's from Trimble, just to be specific. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Thank you very much.
I'd still like to understand if it was $12,000, would we be here?
Would that be enough? Okay.
I'll take a look at that. There are the two questions. The one question is in terms of what is the general manager's authority and leeway, and I just have to pull that up. I don't know off the top of my head. But I think the other piece is that where the board allocates a specific line item, If you want to adjust that line item, it is a budget amendment. And that does typically come back to the board when it's a budget amendment. So.
Yeah, that's my understanding of what the rules are now also. Is if it's not a budgeted item, there's a certain amount of authority. And I can't remember what the number is either.
Yeah, there is a spending authority number.
It used to be 5,000.
I know, that's right, that's the number, Kim, but I
But I
knew
think
we
we upped
raised
it.
that, yeah.
Yeah, we upped it from, but it still would be,
I don't know if that pertains to the budget, though.
no. But
Yeah.
as Mike said, the fact that it's been budgeted is why it does have to come back.
Correct.
Okay. Open forum budget discussion on budget adjustment. Is Kim online? Yep.
I am.
Oh,
Hello, Kim.
okay.
She's been at DEMEC all day, so she wasn't.
She doesn't,
This trip, yeah.
no,
So was I. Here I am.
she does not love us.
Kim.
I conveniently live more north in between DMAC and Lewes, so
That's all right.
the traveling wouldn't make sense. Okay, so I have supplied the amended capital budget in your packet. On page 1 for electric on line 17, the support capital projects, I italicize and bold the number. It changed to $203,900. That's an increase of $9,400. On page 2, on line 41 for water, that capital projects again, that's where you're going to see it, up to $44,050. Wastewater is line 38 on page 4, up to $67,100. And then stormwater, we are going from $3,000 to $31,50 on line 20 on page 6 for a total increase of $14,700. I rounded up the extra $7 from the quote.
Yeah, because this unit is split over all 4 utilities. It's normal.
Any questions on the budget? The change?
Well, Kim, you've highlighted some stuff it's in yellow and all zeros.
That's from previous. Thinking about it, hindsight, I should have took that off, so it didn't draw your attention to that. So it's just the support capital projects line for all 4 utilities that are affected.
I think we're just looking for,
Yeah,
a
that's what I
motion
said. Yeah.
to
So
approve.
do you have a motion to approve the budget revisions?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Since one of the items that was deleted was Kings Highway, it reminded me, do we have a new schedule from DelDOT on New Road?
Nope. They're doing right-of-way acquisition, stuff like that, which could take a couple years. Basically, that's the update we get.
So,
It's gonna be old road, by the time we're finished.
so they're gonna dump everyone from Minus Conaway underpass.
You were talking about Kings Highway.
Oh.
He
I
said
said-
New Road.
New Road.
New road.
New road.
Same thing. No, not yet. I want to follow up with the gentleman that we was dealing with several years ago to see if they can give us any updates. Because our temporary infrastructure is getting more permanent.
Yeah, we have to change our name to New Lewes, so it's,
Yeah, really.
we have the Jersey barricades. Yeah, and on Kings Highway, I hope DelDOT comes to their senses. I mean, with the traffic flow this summer and the Kings Highway's backed up now, You put 5 traffic circles in there, it's gonna be total gridlock.
Especially when I go out there and walk across the street and hit the button and come back across the street and hit the button.
That was, strike that from the record.
Yes, yes.
All right. Open forum, general discussion on updating the BPW electrical tariffs. So I hope everyone got through the light reading.
It is a hefty document. We really just wanted to get it in front of you today, that you have received it. We started looking at this 2 to 3 years ago. We started making these changes. What we did, staff, all the office staff and the electric department, we said, hey, are these practical procedures that we're doing? Are we enforcing all these rules? Is something outdated? Are the fees up to date? I don't believe anybody has really reviewed or changed much throughout the years. I'm going to go over 20 years, probably has not been touched. So there really are a lot of outdated practices and language in this document. I know years ago, Mike did take a look at it, but he'll have to do it again, I'm sure. But I think really what we wanted to do is to get it in front of you, give you time to digest it, take a look at the changes we were proposing, get your feedback from that, and then either we could do those discussions in our next meeting or 2 meetings from now, or we could potentially do a workshop if we think that's necessary. So that's kind of up to you guys and how you want to handle that.
You know,
Can I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
I mean, for example, I got to page 83.
Yes.
It was on the back of page 74.
Yep.
But
Yep.
somehow you got them on the same page, either side. But there's been a lot of work done here but you got like whole sections taken out.
Correct.
Maybe a little crib notes of, we took this out because the horseless carriage, reference is no longer.
The horse died.
Yep.
Or we thought this needed to be revised because.
Yep. We can definitely do that.
So, I don't know, a 1-page or 2-pager that says section so-and-so, we don't do that anymore,
Yep.
or.
Yeah.
There was a lot of formatting issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I think they used a prehistoric computer program to do it, and you couldn't make changes. So that's how your 73 became 83. I have no idea.
Well, okay, but
I agree. So when we
Give
get
us
ready to do those deep discussions, that will be the plan for us to provide those notes and that feedback on why we're doing the things we're doing.
well, how about before? Because I might dive in here and like 14.2, I think should be expanded, and you think it should be eliminated because it's completely.
Yep, we can do that.
it's not as daunting as I first thought. I mean, most of it's just clean out,
Yes.
easy
Yes.
things. I think if you could just highlight the things that are,
Have substance.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
You could
Is that
cut
if we can
Yeah.
strike the red lines from the change of the name Lewes BPW. I mean, or some of the formatting.
We can
To
do
make
that.
it would make it easier to read.
because a lot of it's just that good cleanup that you don't have to think about. But
Was this originally a BPW document, or did it come from?
No, that is BPW policy. That is our current policy.
And when was the last time it was upgraded?
it says 2004 here.
Is when it started.
Just one line or one section, and I think it might have been a rate change.
There's a couple with the rate change, there was a couple with, net metering, but the whole thing was 2004 when the whole entire package changed.
You mean when we looked at it?
But some of them might have been
But-
55.
She's saying 2004 is when we did this review, this red line, but it has not been put into effect. This is the first time the board has seen it with the red lines. So the current policy does not have all of those red lines. So if you reverse all those changes, that is the current policy.
But sometimes the red printing, why the red printing?
That means there has been a change to the document. Anything that's red was a change.
Okay.
Or green.
Or green. and the,
That's what
That's
confused
really
me.
good for colorblind people.
so, well, anybody who touches that document, because we were all working on that document, has their own designated color. So I am red, Chris is green.
Okay, all right.
I have a question. Sharon, you mentioned that Mike had looked at it before, but he'll need to look at it again. Are any of these changes based on his suggestions?
I believe that we did incorporate some things. I think really what Mike was looking at the time, we were looking at the legality of charging for late fees and credit card fees and things like that, because a couple different municipalities were doing different things. They were all across the board, so we weren't really sure which path we should go. So I think that was really what Mike was focusing on at the time. So I don't know that he did a full review. I can't remember.
No, and the reason why Sharon mentioned I'll have to do it again, because when she called me, when this was on the agenda, she said, well, you reviewed it. I said, I don't remember a single thing. But I do remember looking at the late fees.
It's been several years in the making, like
Yeah.
I said.
And the net metering, as I remember, that was done when solar came in. Because there was no net metering before that.
Correct. And I think we did do a policy amendment when the new legislation came out for net metering. So that is probably one of the recent changes to this. But as a document as a whole, we did not review the whole thing. We only looked at it section by section.
So this is now the draft revision of the whole document.
You were correct.
Back day one.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Just from a procedure standpoint, eventually, when this gets to a place where you want to consider it for adoption under the policy or the procedure to adopt new policies, it's going to have to be posted, opportunity for public comment. I think staff's recommendation is for you all to take the first stab at it, quote unquote, finalize a draft, and then post that for public comment. Yep. But just be aware that that's the process.
And my recommendation is you do it like at 10 o'clock at night. It is beautiful. It's a perfect document to fall by.
Aw, that's cool.
Started it twice, the review.
I was reading through here that the weather conditions have to, if you're gonna cancel on somebody, have to be near the airport of the same county.
Yeah.
We only have one county.
One airport, that's it.
And that was approved because of the disconnects for the time through the state.
Yeah, that was a recent change.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Last year, I believe.
You only have one county and one airport.
So when you actually look up weather.gov, it does look up Sussex County. It's like a little tiny airport. So using using weather.gov, they do it off of an airport in each county. So Sussex is like a small, tiny, I think it might be on somebody's farm, if I'm being honest.
But we only have one airport in one county. So
Yeah. And then for Dover, they do it based off of the Air Force Base. And then in Newcastle, they do the one that's in Wilmington or Newark.
Yeah. But it could be any of them. Doesn't make you go to the water.
So what I'm hearing is that we will prepare some notes to go with the changes, just to give you our thinking behind why we made those changes. And then I don't know that we'll bring it back next month, maybe 2 months, because again, it's hefty.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if you do it in September, no, actually, I'll be back for the September meeting.
I would love to see this done before the new year. That would be my goal.
We'll do that for you.
Okay, great.
Which new year?
Yeah, we didn't say which year.
Okay.
What colors should we use?
Any color you like.
Yeah, it's according to what it is. That's right. You get there first, you get your pick.
You don't get to choose your color. It chooses it for you.
I'm using this. That's
Tom, I do have an answer to Bob's question, if you want, just on the spending authority. So the general manager is authorized to execute purchase orders up to the budgeted amount. And so what he can do is he can take from other line items within a utility, but you can't go across utilities. And if it's within the utility, a report has to be made to the board at the next meeting. So those are the limits. If what the request is to increase that budget and not take from within, it requires the authorization, which is why it was.
But there's no limit within that.
Correct.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
And did you, by chance, you come across what the limit is for him to spend money on his own outside the budget?
There is none. I mean, meaning you have to spend within the budget.
I think you mean like if there is, like, the pump station goes down and we need a pump or something. Kim,
Yeah.
didn't we just increase that to 10,000?
Yes.
Well,
Anything under 10,000 is an O&M.
Yeah, in O&M, not in a capital.
Right. I think we're talking about two different things,
Yeah.
but
No,
we'll
Yeah,
connect on that.
No, because I was talking about the O&M side, and it used to be 5,000, and I think we revised
Yeah.
it up,
Not long ago.
because $5,000 doesn't buy you very much anymore.
Yeah, but we should,
Yep.
let's connect to make sure.
Yep,
It's not questions.
yep, you sure did.
All right, requests for future agenda items. Once again, you can just send them in to Sharon.
I
or
have two.
Robin.
One is that we, sometime when the board's all here, we talk about AMI and what the whole thing is. We're gonna spend $2 million. What are we gonna get for it? How are we going to retrain the populace to use less, or can we modify our operations such as water production or the hospital or something to do it? And I'll write up a little thing, but I'd like to get it on the agenda, okay?
And it probably would mean a change to the tariff schedule.
Well, it probably will, because if we put in AMI at Harry Homeowner's house and we get a boost from PJM, you know, what kind of communications we're gonna do with Harry Homeowner about his usage, and, you know, maybe Sharon sends out a thing that says, don't, you know, cook between these hours and so on, but Harry continues to do that. How do we get Harry's attention?
Well, there's a grid-wide standard which says that when they put out a request for an emergency status, they can automatically turn your thermostats up 2 degrees or down 2 degrees, depending upon which season.
Well, can I do that? So
But,
We
you
can
know,
put it on the agenda.
I'll finish what I've written on that. And the other item that I'd like to see on an agenda at some periodic basis is status of the county work on their cooperative project with us.
well, we should be able to do that next month after we get done with the design review. Yeah, we'll have,
I'm just saying, you know, every 3 or 4 months, you know.
oh, yeah, but it's been kind of silent now because the change of, and the fact that there hasn't been much going on. But after next, the 31st, I think Press and I can provide an update on that and then make it a standing item going forward.
Yeah, we can make sure it's about to put it on a quarterly and that way. Yeah,
You know, I mean,
or something.
I'm not
major.
tied into, if there's a big, you know, 4 months, 3
Yeah,
months,
understand.
something like that.
Yeah.
But when something changes, and if nothing changes, then I'm maybe a little more worried about it than I was.
But just, let's put, and remember, nothing's going to happen before 2027 because the canal study has to be finished.
I
So,
understand. But
But just some sort of update, yeah.
Yeah.
there's,
no, just to make sure everyone understands that still. All right,
Bob, I thought that we agreed at the last board meeting that the AMI pros and cons would be on the agenda after we have firm proposals and know what it's going to cost. Am I misremembering?
Well, I didn't remember it that way.
That was the discussion, I think it was thrown out there that way. I mean, we can still discuss the pros and cons, but I think to get that cost benefit analysis, we have to have the numbers to get that.
Yeah.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but if you're spending just under $2 million, you know, where's the payback gonna be? Or is it just a rate increase? Which I don't think is what you want. So, you know, how are you gonna get Harry homeowner to change his behavior? Or can you get it all out of, you know, the way we operate the sewer plant, the water plant, and what the hospital does?
yeah, we can discuss that more, but that's why I said, you know, the rate, the tariff schedule is gonna be changed, because in theory, the way many communities have done it, or utilities, is that they drop their regular rates and charge higher peak rates, because that's really, the peak rate is what you get, and it's what, top 5 peak days sets the rates?
Top 15 minutes, isn't it? Something very
But it's
short.
not
I have a
instantaneous.
feeling that will be a rate study.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Well, we're doing a rate study now, or we're starting, so
yes,
that's my
yes.
point.
But we don't have the infrastructure in place, so it'll be at least probably 2 years before we're fully operational.
I understand.
All right.
yeah, but right now, our rates from Delmarva Power or from DEMEC, because DEMEC's buying on the grid, gets set from, and I don't take me from, I think it's the top 5 peak days.
I thought it was much shorter than that. I thought it was much shorter than that.
I don't mean the whole day, I mean the top 5 times.
Yeah, no, well,
It'd be interesting, we should go back to
sure.
DEMEC and ask them.
yeah.
But
Yep,
it's
we can do that.
still a relevant agenda item.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so Bob's got 2, anyone else?
As always, you can just send them to Robin, and we can get them on there.
All right, call to the press, call to the public. Hello? All right, okay. So can I have a motion to, well, first, do we need to go into executive session?
Do not bring the minutes.
We do not.
Okay, so then we can have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.